Welcome to Conversations. My name is Suresh Kochadal. The Kerala landslide story is just not ending. Even today, dozens of bodies have been found by the rescue teams. A Bailey bridge is being built to send out machinery to the other side, the same bridge which had earlier collapsed, and the river which has changed its course. We all are talking about why these natural disasters happen. There is a problem with Leh where planes cannot land now because the temperatures have gone to 36 degrees. That's a different problem itself. It's a technical issue. But right now here is something what I call as a man-made disaster. The Madhav Gadgil report, which we all know, was kind of dumped by the Kerala church, the bishops, political leaders, and just about everybody. And that has resulted in this situation now. The question is, what is the way forward? Will the politicians and the religious leaders, the bishops, allow the nature to take its course? What happened in Wayanad is a proof that the government has no interest in protecting nature. It is an eco-sensitive area, but today there's a proliferation of construction, including resorts. It was first proposed as an eco-sensitive area in 2011. And this double landslide disaster that we saw is a proof that the ecologically fragile Western Ghats have been exploited without a care. Nobody cares a damn about it. And today, extreme weather conditions have made what a mess of the situation. In fact, Madhav Gadgil has been speaking about this numerous times. He was even driven out of Kerala because of his report. Now, the Western Ghats Ecology Expert Panel report, which was headed by the Environment Ministry's team, they said the Ghats, the Western Ghats, is an eco-sensitive areas. And yesterday we spoke about this. 6 states, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. The panel actually had sought a complete stop to the environmentally hazardous human activity. There's huge mining activity happening in these high mountains up there. All illegal. But the government turns a blind eye, and that's what happened in Kerala. The first draft notification was issued after this report came out in March 2014. 5 drafts. All recommendations remain on paper. The 6th one is supposed to come up now. The question is, were the Wayanad landslides waiting to happen? And like Mr. Gadgil, they'd say that any nation has 4 capital stocks: natural, social, human, and health. And all they're man-made. India's building regulations, subsidized man-made capital, are all costing it dear. People construct anything and everywhere without a dam, without following any rules. And thereby, the entire ecosystem gets impacted. In fact, this also takes us to the industrial enterprises which come up in these areas. And they have been kind of doing it their own way. So it's this narrow view of development that's behind the most environmental degradation, including what happened at the Wayanad landslides. It is with this view that it is proposed to increase the frequency of human interventions. Stop mines and quarries. Building of roads should be done very, very carefully. Building on hill slopes, that's the most dangerous thing. And that is what happens in a sensitive ecological region, and it turns out to be a disaster like what happened in Wayanad. The question is, how can such disasters be stopped or minimized in the entire Western Ghats? Let's not blame only Kerala for it. Maharashtra, same situation. Karnataka, same situation. Goa, situation. Gujarat, and even the bit of Tamil Nadu there. We need to have carefully drafted guidelines, which are already there. The Gadgil committee had said it. The Kasturi Rangan committee had said it. The problem is this ecological sensitivity is not taken toward. The guidelines can actually start up with a bottom-up process. Let us start from the democratic decision-making. Get everybody into a Grama Sabha, sit around and debate about it. Saying, look, we can't do this, we can't do this. It's your own life, remember, at the end of it. You will die or your family will go if you don't follow the rule. Look at the downstream flows. Do the sand auditing, for example, and strict regulation of sand mining. Even here in Telangana, we see sand being mined left, right, and center in the rivers. And tomorrow, mark my words, those pillars holding those bridges or anything across the river will collapse because of that. We saw that in Bihar also. Rampant mining. Then there were recommendations on the mining. Yes, that really happened. The panel, the environmental panel, had defined 3 levels of ecological sensitivity. high, moderate and low. But the misconception was that the Kasturi Rangan committee or even the Madhav Gadgil committee before that asked everything to be stopped. No, they did say that something can be done. It requires regulation. Of course, human activity must be strictly prohibited or regulated depending on the ecological sensitivity of different levels. As you said, 3 levels. Where mining is allowed, the rehabilitation of mined areas is also crucial because they dig up the entire area and leave it like that. And water fills it up and somebody goes and jumps into it and dies. That is another problem. You need to fill it up again with mud or concrete or whatever it is. The no mining area should be clearly demarcated. Where the mining exists, that also should be demarcated. It should be phased out within 5 years of the notification, but nothing happened. The government doesn't have the will because they get money out of it, and most of it is a political mafia that operates. There should be no railway line, they said. There should be no national state highways. We saw with the Shirur accident the other day, where even now 4 people are still to be accounted for, including a lorry driver from Kerala, Arjun. That is located along the Shirur belt, along the Gokarna Udupi road, along the highway, along the coastal area, coastal highway as we call it. The question is, why did successive governments fail to notify eco-sensitive areas within Western Ghats? The answer, the government has no interest in protecting nature and facilitating a democratic decentralization. We are in a situation where businesses profit from close relationship with politicians in power, and of course, they care a damn about environment. And then corruption, no need to talk about it. Crores are exchanged hands. That includes getting permits, government grants, tax breaks, anything for that matter. In fact, mining is one of the main reasons why it is said that these disasters are happening in Kerala. So the question is, what should be done? This is the problem. Can you stop mining totally? No, there is no granite in Kerala. They have to get it from Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, or sometimes even Andhra Pradesh for construction. The same thing happens. What do you do? Because when wealth accumulates, not merely by turning a profit, but by rent seeking, entrepreneurship and innovative practices that seek to reward risk are completely stifled. This is what is damaging the environment. Media, politics, government, everybody is in it. Then there are, of course, extreme weather conditions. I just spoke about Leh, what happens in Leh, or what is happening in Leh rather. In fact, if you look at all the landslides, and that is what Madhav Gadgil has said, that occurred in Maharashtra's Western Ghats, and the frequency has gone up 100-fold from 2011 to 2020. The impact of climate change and extreme weather conditions can only be minimized by taking stringent actions, empowering those institutions of the government and non-government, Grama Sabhas, Mohalla Sabhas, or whatever you want to call them, hold all of them, sit together, stop religious leaders from getting into all this. It is not their business. This is one of the reasons. There was a politician in Kerala called P.T. Thomas. He's no more now. God bless his soul. He was the only politician, he was a congressman, who stood up and said, no, we need to implement the Madhav Gadgil report. He was derided, he was abused, and even a procession taken out with a coffin, saying that is his coffin. P.T. Thomas was denied a ticket by the Congress from Idukki, from where he hailed from, which is another area where such disasters are waiting to happen, because the topography is very similar with what is Wayanad. And that is why Idukki has Munnar in it. These are places which are ecologically very sensitive. He was not given a ticket, remember. And that is what is the main thing. The Congress denied a ticket to him because he took up the cause and said we need to protect the environment. So if it's a CPM-led LDF or the Congress-led UDF, they are all the same in Kerala. And every other state has the same issue, especially along the Western Ghats. The time has now come to bite the bullet. The courts are interfering, but beyond the courts, it is the political pressure that has to increase. Somebody has to be held accountable for those 200 and odd people who have died and more bodies yet to be recovered. Criminal cases have to be filed against government of Kerala, its institutions who allowed this to happen. And strict implementation of the Madhav Gadgil committee should be done. Or else we are waiting for another disaster to happen. And for me to speak about that disaster too. Ladies and gentlemen, just don't sit back and relax and think this is not my problem. This is your problem too. Act on it. Do something. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.